1,125,000 points is what I've just got on my free-to-play account in the raid. So this is a free-to-play account that's only been live since December. Okay, that is like 8 months and a little bit. 8.5 months I've been playing this, and I've come up with some good teams for you all to use. Let's talk about it, and in particular, I want to talk about the benefits of Hondo. Is very profitable. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome over to the free-to-play account, the Scribbles account. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, I just managed to get myself a new record for my performance within this raid, and I'm very, very proud of that. 1,125,000 points in the raid. Cha-ching! What that manages to give us all is some rather wonderful personal rewards. I get to get this Mark III raid tokens. They are so good. They are what enables your account to keep pushing for additional relic levels, helps speed up the rest of your farms. So hitting that 1 million point, I'm gaining an extra 80 of those and 200 of the Mark II, and of course it's helping my guild push to higher and higher boxes. Our guild is about 100 and something million GP right now. We broke the 3rd box. We're going to reach the 4th box relatively soon, I reckon, if we keep on progressing at the rate we are doing, so I'm very, very happy about that. Let's talk about the teams that I used. I'm not going to give you a rundown guide, but in particular, I am going to talk about the Hondo team that I was using, because I do feel like it is a very, very valuable team in general. So first and foremost, we all know that Kellen Beck is super, super good. Kellen basically hard carries through this raid. I've decided to take him to relic levels. This isn't necessary. You could do it at gear 12 and a 5-star Kellen Beck. Obviously, you want to throw the Zetas on and stuff like that. If you are going to invest in further, put that TW Omicron on. It is a really good early game Omicron for TW. And I'm throwing in with Barasofi, and I've got Temple Guard and Depa Balaba over here. I had Temple Guard from that wonderful free pack they had on the web store a couple of weeks back, months ago, which gave you like 66 shards. It shot him up massively, so I had him at like 5 stars really, really quickly, and I've just been casually farming his fleet node since then. He's nearly finished, which is cool. Depa has recently gone to Cantina. I had her at 4 and a bit stars because I had been doing the assault battle. The assault battle for Crimes Against the Republic had given me quite a few shards of Temple Guard and Depa Balaba. Because I already had this guy at 5 stars, I was doing 2 tiers. It shot these guys up real quick. I took her to 5-star in gear 8 just so that I could actually use her within the raid, and she makes a great little 4th unit here. The last one, I'm a Gundai. Guess what he does? He lives up to his name in this raid, because nobody cares about that. It's just an easy 300,000. Then I've got Tarkin solo. I've taken Tarkin to relics, and I've got my current modding over here on him. He's 295 speed, 192% crit damage, 115% potency more or less, and just under 4k offense. He's easily soloing that first tier for 300,000. Plenty of guides on there already. Now, I do have a Nest team, which you can see down here, which is using Qui-Gon Jinn as the leadership. Now, I was using Plo Koon as the leadership for the most part on this team, but I decided to use Plo Koon with my Hondo this time instead. Let me move my camera real quick for you, ladies and gentlemen, just so that we can get a little bit of a better view of what we are talking about here. So, as we can see, Qui-Gon Jinn lead with Ayla, Shakti, Kit Fisto, and Nest. Nest is the star here. I've just got a full team to try and let us survive until we can actually clear that first wave. We weren't able to do that after a couple of attempts without losing the first Jedi, and that's okay. I don't mind. I got the 225k on there. I could probably put that to 300k if I just invested more in Nest. Took her to relics. Relics 2 or 3 would probably be enough for her to solo. At the moment, I don't have the appetite to do it because I'm a little bit too busy working on the others. Now, this team down here, Plo Koon lead with Hondo and Akka. I did this at 5 stars, and I've got the video footage that we're going to go over on that today. So obviously he's 6 stars now, but I did it at 5 stars, and we'll go over it. Essentially, we are using Plo Koon's amazing leadership for this particular raid. His leadership is so useful. At the start of each ally's turn, basically, there is a 55% chance to remove stealth from each enemy at the start of our turns. If we do dispel it, we're going to gain offense up for 1 turn. The reason this is useful is multifold, okay? So, first and foremost, if disguised clone troopers are stealthed, the enemies are going to be gaining retribution and advantage all the time or something like that. And that's really frustrating. So we've got a 55% chance at the start of our turn to just dispel that. If we do dispel it, we gain offense up, which is great. It's more damage output, right? But if you feed that into the Dire Fortitude ability that you get from when you're defeating Fox, it just means additional sources of buffing, which is going to increase your crit damage constantly, right? So it's super, super useful, even if Plo Koon dies relatively quickly. If you get him to survive, that's great. He's got a pretty decent kit for this raid anyway. Dispels on a basic, can pass TM, that sort of good business. And the rest is down to Hondo. Now, I did make sure that I have the I don't want to kill you, per se, Zeta on him, because that does give them capture, and capture is a very useful form of control for this raid. I will likely put his second Zeta on there, because that's going to give me some ramping additional stats, and I'll probably take him to Relic 3, just as a staging ground for him to be like, okay, I don't need to worry so much about RNG, don't need to worry so much about modding, just need to get the run in properly, just to make my raid life just a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and check out the footage and the modding for that Plo Hondo team, shall we? Alright, so Plo Koon, nothing special about his modding. He's got 232 speed. Honestly, it doesn't matter what you do with this guy. If you want to put more on him, you can. My Hondo Anaka over here, this is the 5-star Hondo that I used before I upgraded his star level. I just wanted to see if this could work at 5 stars, basically. 272 speed. We do have a crit damage triangle on him, and he's got 2,700 offense. Nothing too crazy over here. Nothing too crazy. Pretty achievable in general. Let's see what we actually do. And away we go. So what we want to try and do is we want to try and get as many stacks of capture on Hondo as quickly as possible. So I captured the enemy Apo at the start, and then I used the turn meter gain from Plo Koon. I'm trying to just kill Fox. I don't think this was actually the smartest thing to do, because Fox will actually just out-survive you for the most part. As soon as you've got that 11 stacks of ransom on Hondo, you can start using his second special. I'm calling him Plo here, doing a little bit of extra damage. We're just trying to kill that Fox before he heals up. And I don't think I actually managed to do it, but it was worth a try, I think. Just doing a basic there on Fox. As you can see, he's about to get that big old heal. That's really frustrating, but it is what it is. Just go focusing right back on Fox. As you can see, we've only got 2 stacks of execute, 1 stack of execute. I believe we capture the Fox here. Capture the Fox, that stops him being able to do any more attacks and get rid of the execute stacks. Once again, using that special, trying to put some good damage out, getting that expose over there on the Fox is also quite useful. Basic, we nearly got him down on a basic, and there you go. As you can see, if you take out the Fox before you lose that first Jedi, you're actually okay. Now, I've heard people say that you can actually just take out that Fox, lose the first Jedi, and farm the summoned clones. I couldn't really get it to work, but if you've got the patience for it, absolutely go ahead and do that. Once you use the Dire Fortitude ability, you're going to gain additional stacks then of execute, and there shouldn't really be any risk of you losing that Jedi anymore. So take your leisure there, maybe capture either one of the disguised clone troopers or capture Apo, really up to you, and just go to town on Apo, take him out as soon as possible. And by now, you should be absolutely okay, because all these buffs are increasing your crit damage thanks to the Dire Fortitude buff, but you're also gaining stacks of captive, and that's going to be increasing your max health and your tenacity, which is really, really useful. If I had that second Zeta, this would have also helped me. Whenever the enemy is captured, I would be ramping additional crit chance and additional crit damage, I believe. Unfortunately, don't have that Zeta just yet. I will probably get it sometime soon, though, because I think it is worthwhile, and Hondo's quite a good character in general. Might even put a Omicron on him later on for GAC for just a little bit of fun. As you can see, I'm focusing down clone troopers as a priority, because those are the guys that can really cause you some issues. But once the first round is kind of over, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, what you can do is you can just farm Lord Vader like this. You can just go auto basic onto Lord Vader and just have fun with it, because whenever we're gaining buff, we're ramping crit damage. Don't forget that. And that should make the later phases a little bit easier. You really don't have to do this. It doesn't actually make a real tangible amount of difference, but you can if you want to. Ultimately, though, as long as you're here, you're going to be fine. You shouldn't ever lose another Jedi. They shouldn't really be able to do enough damage to you. You should have ramped up enough survivability at this point to get through it without too many issues. So yeah, just go ham. Just go ham. I'll skip ahead here because, as you can see, I'm just taking my time. Clear out each wave one at a time. Shouldn't really be much of an issue. You should have quite a bit of damage at this point. As you can see, just do a basic there. We didn't even manage to land a crit there, unfortunately. Probably need to put a little bit more crit damage on my boy Hondo over here. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're still doing some decent damage, but no critting, unfortunately. Obviously, when they drop below that 80% health, they cannot be crit anymore, so that is a thing to consider. But hopefully you should be able to get at least one big crit on him. You can see there how they actually lost their stealth. That's thanks to the Plo Koon lead. You see the critical hit there on that special, doing 50k damage to the disguised clone trooper. Really not so bad. I really do need to increase crit chance on this guy. Maybe with a bit of relic levels and a little bit of extra starring. Don't forget, this one was 5-star. I've now got him to 6-star. I will have him to 7-star most likely by the time the next raid swings around. We should be having a much easier time of it. But hey, guys, I thought this was a super cool team. Really low levels investment. If you had that Lightspeed token that gives you a Gear 12 4-star Hondo, with just a little bit more investment and a bit of good luck, you can actually get 300,000 in the raid, and that's super worthwhile. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do like the video before you leave and give me a comment down below some other teams that you want to see me test. I'll try my best to get that done for you. I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.